And here's another page, and here's a cool sketch where he's like pushing back he's like holding back an attack. And here's I started designing the mines a little bit more. And the mines have like a drill. They're like walk around on legs, and they have a drill into the ground. Kind of like a trap, setting a trap. There's a body blow. I liked drawing people getting punched in the gut. Here's some places I drew. I looked up noodle houses, like a noodle place, a noodle shop, and because I wanted them to have. That was a place that I imagined our main character would go to a lot, especially after losing, and like hanging out and going to get some raw noodles. There's more designs. I was like, I wanted to really focus. I wanted to really like take a shot at the design, take a shot at what this suit like would really look like. And this is like the closest I got to like the most fleshed out design right here. Here's I kind of like messing around with the shapes. You know, you gotta mess around with shapes too. Shapes are just really important for this sort of thing. You know, you kind of shapes let you emphasize or de-emphasize certain aspects of a person. You know, in any design, it really does designing anything. So I went to the library. I looked up a book. I got a book on New York architecture, and so I just do some stuff in New York because I've never been, and I figured I should get a little taste of that. And here's the thing I did where I listened on a podcast where someone said you should ask your characters certain questions, and this question is what is it? What do you want more than anything? What would you do to get it? What if it's threatened? And so I just drew him talking and answering that question. And it was kind of lame, kind of a boring answer. Basically, I felt like I was talking like about myself more than this character. I basically just said boring stuff, like, oh, I want to have kids, I want to have family. That didn't really make sense to me. It was kind of boring. This was a good one though. What is your favorite outfit? Yeah, like this especially made me think of myself. Like this sentence right here made me think too much of myself. Like I just stay comfortable. I was like, yeah, that sounds boring as hell. Who the hell would say that? And who cares what that guy has to say? Yeah. Anyway, there's some more designs. Like it gets it gets winter. In the winter it gets cold, so they wear like scarves or whatever. Some drawings of the characters. God, this thing is full to the brim, man. That's why I did the little slide thing, because this thing has so many drawings. It's going to take so long to go through it all, so I'm going to pick up the pace. Just show off each page for a second or two. Not talk so much about each one, unless I specifically want to say something. Because sometimes for a while, I started to get into the boxing theme a little bit more, like kind of this little like guy walks in, he's like hooded. When he gets introduced, he like walks in. I like this shot a lot right there. Yeah, I shared that drawing already. Trying to get an idea of how they put the suit on. Yeah, I mean, I drew a lot of stuff for this story in like 3 or 4 months. But I didn't really write much. I mean, I wrote actually quite a lot. I didn't really write dialogue per se, but I basically wrote, like I said, I write through drawing. I write the story through I translate my thoughts on what should be in a plot into images. It's very hard for me to write things down compared to drawing them, because I'm not very descriptive by word. I would say I'm much more comfortable with translating my thoughts into shapes and like light and dark. And faces, I draw faces just like so easily. I know how faces work very well now. Yeah, here's actually the praying mantis design came back a little bit. Kind of surprised me. Yeah, I like this design actually, the spider. He has like a spider legs coming out of his back. Because I kind of like this idea that everyone kind of got their own characteristics, like everyone's suit is a little bit different. And so I kind of started to get into the idea of having weapons, You know, how are these characters going to be different? Because they're all wearing the suit, but they're not. You know, that's not too exciting. At least visually. At least visually, it's hard to like. It's hard to feel like your character is like facing different challenges. You know. I was also playing a lot of Skyrim at this time, I believe. I think I played a lot of Skyrim right around this time, and so I was thinking of Skyrim when I thought of these like hammers and these axes and the swords and whatever. This is a fun idea. A scene where they go to like an Asian, not even Asian, just like a seafood house, a seafood place, like where they put all the, like a crawfish, like a crawfish eating place, whatever it's called, like a crab feed, where they, like, you just dump all the crap onto like a newspaper like this, and it's like got potatoes and corn, and you just like pick at it with your hands. You got a giant bib on like a child. Yeah, that's what it is. Got his hair pulled back. I like that actually. It's a funny shot. Yeah, and so I was drawing. I wrote a page where our two characters are hanging out at a noodle house or something, and they're talking about his loss. He like gets beat up by Isabella, and he's like trying to figure out. He's trying to figure out what happened or whatever, like trying to get over the loss. So yeah, I write, you know, I do write. I don't give myself enough credit for building story, because I started to draw the witch story a little bit. I don't give myself credit. You know, here's another situation where our main character, like, this is the reason our main character is going to RUMBL City. He's like looking for this guy. He's like looking for a guy. He's like out to try and find a guy who's like dating his sister or something, and like abandoned his sister. Or like I had this plot in my mind where the main character and his sister are living together, and his sister's in debt, and she's getting like gonna get chased by debt collectors or something like that, or she gets kidnapped, I guess, and that's why our main character decides to go looking in RUMBL City. And I'm writing out stuff. Oh, that's a different story. Yeah, I write quite a lot, and I started to take notes on these themes and these ideas that I have that I'd like to translate in my stories about power and about life, and about immortality. Immortality was a theme that I had in mind in RUMBL City, where like the plot is like someone is trying to, you know, the kind of idea of, see, I wrote some more pages, kind of that concept of, like abandoning your human self, abandoning your human body, and like finding a new one. That's kind of like what becoming immortal by, you know, going to RUMBL City by you know, becoming a robot, basically. Kind of that idea. This is a durian. I don't know if any of you have ever been around a durian, but it smells horrible and it tastes bad, in my opinion. Asian people love it, though. And so I decided to, I had this plot idea where our main character is like in this new foreign place, and like it's like I kind of in my head, I kind of think of like late night Japan, you know, like urban Japan nightlife. So a lot of like Asian food, I'm thinking, and it's like he's just coming to this place where they eat all this weird stuff like pig heads and pig's feet and, you know, stinky fruit. So I started drawing weird fruit, and this is a durian, you know, so I'm just drawing it in a bunch of different. It's not durian. It's inspired by it. This actually is from reference, though. That is durian. And yeah, I just wanted to draw like weird fruit, kind of like foreign. This idea of being in a foreign place and like having weird stuff. I wrote, you know, I miss Mom's homemade pie. This fruit looks like a rock. That's funny. Anyway, those are fun. Yeah, a lot of writing. I started to get an idea of the plot a lot more. I was just focusing more on the plot now. This is in August, so this is only about 2 months of drawing and writing. Is that for a different thing? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so that's RUMBL City. I believe that's all of RUMBL City. I actually missed some fantasy stuff. I missed some of my witch story. I drew a little bit more for that here. There's the dragon. There's my dragon. Yeah, I liked this. This girl like finds a book, and it's like got powers. It's got like, yeah, it's powerful. It gives her magical powers or something. There's our witch. Yeah, I mean, there we go. I was writing out the yeah, I was trying to figure out a new plot. And now I'm also, yeah, I came back to RUMBL City now. Here's an idea I had for RUMBL City, where, because I don't know if you noticed, but there's been a lot of drawings where like people are plugged in by the back by like with like a tube, and I was like, this doesn't look very modern, so I decided to come up with something where they're attached to like a sphere. It's like a floating sphere, and they're like plugged into that, and it just floats around behind them. I think that'd be a really cool design. It's very unique. I've never seen anything like that. So yeah, lots of robots. I just draw a lot of robots. I was drawing a lot of robots. More robots. Those aren't necessarily for RUMBL City. I like this guy a lot. This guy's a cool design. I like these two drawings right there. Yeah, this one's really nice. I think this one's like really unique. I've never seen something like that. I like these two. They're like floating around and they got these 4 arms. Yeah. And that's it. I also have another story. You saw Caden, Born Aflame. That's a new idea. There's our girl Etta. Some drawings of Etta. Yeah. So I just jump around, man. I swear. That's all of it. So yeah, thanks for watching this 30-minute, you know, the total like 40 minutes of me just going through drawings. So I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I can answer anything. And you know, if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, please let me know. Thank you.